What's going on, y'all? This is your girl, Shauna Speaks, and this is the Male and Female Perspective Podcast. And I'm here with my dope co-host, Jessica Ply, in the building.
What's going on, Shauna?
Hey, Kapla, how you doing? Happy
I'm
belated
good.
birthday.
I appreciate it. 4-5, Shauna.
4-5. 4-5,
4-5.
y'all. Got to give my boy a shout out. Tonight, we got a
Appreciate it.
great show for you tonight, y'all. We talking about relationships. You know how we do on this channel. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your girl, Shauna Speaks, and this is the Male and Female Perspective Podcast, and I have the pleasure of being next to this guy, Just Comply.
What's going on, Shauna? How was your weekend?
On? It was great. It was great. Happy
Did
Tuesday.
you get to enjoy your time out with the girls and everything?
I did. You saw me. We was outside.
That
we
was outside.
outside.
Even though that sun was disrespectful all
That's how
weekend.
it was. Let me see. You see my arm is two-tone. Look at that. Don't make no sense. Tore me up, boy.
Look,
I'm two tones today. Two-tone.
I had birthday plans in the sun.
Yeah, what happened?
For me.
It canceled it?
They canceled it. It's like, yeah, son, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, son, right. Literally. You're not going nowhere. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. What's going on, though? What's going on, Comply, in the world today?
I am just blessed to be here. I ain't going to hold you. Today, our subject is going to be in regards to relationship wardens. Is it a pet peeve?
Pet peeve?
Or is it red flags?
That's the question,
Let's get into this. Let's get into this because I was having I was listening. I just been listening to certain conversations and stuff, and in listening to conversations, I often wonder, like, do we manage too much? Like, do we micromanage before you even get into situations? Like, are we unrealistic in regards to how we micromanage before you even get into a relationship, or do we micromanage after?
Yep.
Is it something that, that you can, because I'm one of those people that I believe that, everybody's going to have flaws, and you're going to have to pick battles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, everything can't possibly be a battle.
For this one, I need to see this clearly.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get this,
Let's get into this real quick.
Because everything can't possibly be a battle. Right?
No.
There has to be there has to be times where you pick and choose a time to where, okay, Shauna, you know what? I didn't like X, Y, and Z. Right? And then other times where you just like, you know what? Just for the sake of the, for the sake of the peace that we, for the sake of the peace that we have, I ain't even gonna disturb this. You know what I mean? Like, we got such a good thing going on. Like, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really mean something, because all it's going to do is upset this peace that we got going on.
But can't we compromise too much, though? I sayeth that I think I think that sometimes we compromise too damn much. But then on the flip side, I think that we undervalue ourselves also.
Okay, let's get into that.
Pertaining to, like you say, okay, so we're talking about relationship warden, right? So that means like you are controlling, micromanaging. And sometimes I think, like we was talking earlier before we started, I think it comes from a fear of going through and getting burnt so many times. Like you wanna love, you want the relationship, you want to show somebody how great that how y'all could be together. But then in the retrospect of it, it's like, okay, the last person representative stayed around too daggone long, and you get burnt, and now you scared. But in order for you to come into a relationship, you have to come with some type of vulnerability.
Right.
And I think two people that are good, we're talking about the good people, not these corny lames and 304s, we'll call them. We're talking about real working class men and women that really wholeheartedly are healing, going to therapy, got their mind right. They're in their like, I like saying it in our intelligent era and our soft era, just, not scared to be submissive, but we're scared to submit, if that makes sense.
Got you.
Right? So I feel like in that part, we do come in with, I'm not gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that and this is not gonna happen, because we are triggered and we come in projecting already. Like, we come in as a woman, we come in already waiting for this dude to cheat, for him to do something. And I think we only do that because we're scared and we want a reason not to be in a relationship. Right? We want the red flags, which is really sometimes we are the red flags. But I'll land and let you jump into that.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish your thought.
I know that. That's what I want to say until I get my thoughts together. I think that sometimes we are the red flags, and sometimes I heard on the podcast, like, sometimes red flags are not red flags. Sometimes they're yellow flags. But then when it's a red flag, in retrospect, we turn it into a yellow because we, like you said, for that peace sake, for like thinking we got the one. But sometimes we even getting into that part of sitting at dinner, talking on the phone for a couple of weeks or whatever, getting to know the person, telling the person about something, you already kind of vulnerable, and now you kind of, let's be real, liking the person, you feeling them, the energy is there. Now when you get sitting with them, finally got that first leg to get to the dinner date or whatever date y'all decide, collectively.
Virtual date as well.
Right. Now you seeing some little flags. Now you're like, dang, come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Do you go, like you said, for peace sake, let me just hold on a minute, let me just wait. So
and my question would become, because, there are certain things that I do believe, like, there are certain things that are red flags, right? Like, for me, like, a red flag for me is someone that is an inconsiderate person. You know what I mean? Like, for me, infidelity is a red flag. Like, you out there doing just whatever. But there are certain other things that is red flags to other people
I'm gonna push back,
that would not be a red flag to me, because I'm just like, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, do I want to be with you or not? Right. And if I do, then I'm gonna just go ahead and let that roll. Like, for instance, like, I was just having a conversation in regards to, like, a pet peeve of someone's is like, you left dishes in the sink.
Okay.
Is that, you know what I mean? Is that enough though for you to end a relationship, or something that is going to that's going to be something that you can consistently be like, you know what? You keep leaving dishes in the sink or whatever else like that, because after a certain period of time of me talking to you about it, you know what I mean? Like, at some point in time, I got to realize that this is not something that you're going to do. So either one of two things got to happen. Either I have to accept that this is not what you're going to do. You're not going to clean the dishes. Right? You're going to leave dishes in the sink. You're not going to be that person, right? Or I have to not accept it and just be like, you know what? I'm good. Because I think that a lot of times, we have these pet peeves, and because of the pet peeves that we have, we miss out on good people because of the pet peeves that you have. But no one's going to be flawless, right? There's going to be something that's going to, and I'm not talking about characteristic issues. Like, those are completely separate from, like, just the regular everyday live. Because I was having a conversation, and I was like, like, if you spend the majority of the time telling me how much you don't like certain things that I do,
you miss the whole relationship doing that.
After a while, I'm going to shut down, because you can't keep telling me how imperfect I am, how I need to improve so many different parts and aspects of my life, and then tell me you still want me
and want me to show up. Because then you would go, I can't do nothing right, so I might as well not do nothing.
And then you wonder why someone will shut down on you. Like, it's true. Okay, now I can't hear anything you saying.
Nope. Like Charlie Brown. It's true. So, again, like what you said about, like, the pet peeves versus, so for me, the dishes in the sink may not be a big deal, but some people, because they're so clean and got OCD, sometimes that might be a deal breaker. Like, people just like clean people, but then if you meet a person that's a slob, and then you got a person that cleans, but then I'm weak in that area, you're great in that area, so now you're cleaning, I'll try my best not to mess up so you don't got to clean all the time, and then say you're not good with money management, but I am, so now we're trading assignments,
Right.
which makes the relationship work. So I think that people need to find people that have a strength of something that they're weak in. And instead of trying to be perfect, like you said, to match this person, hey, I'm not a good cleaner, or I hate cleaning, but when I do clean, I clean, and I need you to jump on board with that. Or, I'm not good with time management. So, move the time around something that really ain't. So if you say 8 o'clock, but it's really 9 o'clock, to get my butt out the house. So there's certain things, I think, like we said before in the earlier podcast, that what happens is a lot of us don't talk about the hard conversations in the beginning of the relationship. Right. We hold it because for fear. Like, well, if I say, he, I don't like the dish in the sink, or, he touches me a certain way, I don't like it. If I don't say that, then I'm going to make him feel a type of way, and then he may not want me. So it's like, it's always a fear going forward. But I think we do ourselves a disservice by not expressing, especially the age that we are now. We're in our 40s. Right. We got to start speaking up, because a lot of times, if you think back in a relationship that didn't work, we probably didn't speak up the way we should have. And people either got over on us, did things that we absolutely didn't like. Now I'm mad at you because I didn't speak up. Now you don't even know why I'm laying a certain way, or don't do a certain thing, or I don't want to watch this. Like, I'm giving you signs, but I'm wrong because I'm not speaking up for myself. So how can I be mad at you? So that's when I think that Warden thing, like we're talking about, becomes micromanaging, because now I'm micromanaging you, and you don't even know that you got the job.
That I got, right.
That you are part of you ain't even a part of the management.
Right. And so for me, it's like, at some certain point in time, you have to accept who you got in front of you, right?
Do you?
You do. And you don't have to, you do not have to be with that, but you don't have to be with that person, right?
Okay.
You can accept that this person is this person, right? You do not have to be with that person to accept who they are, right?
I understand, right.
So if I am this person, okay, you know what, you're a neat freak, I'm not. Or you're a good money manager and I'm not. Or I'm a workaholic, I'm never available. And you're a person that needs attention.
Right. That's not gonna
work.
You
can accept that, you know what, hey, you know what, you are always gone.
Always.
You always gone.
5-second
can't
text.
handle that.
Nah,
you know what I mean? I can't handle that. And you can it can be that, you know what, we're just not good fits for each other.
But there's a lot of people that stay in those.
But see, what happens is that you stay in these particular types of relationships, and then what happens is you think that somebody's supposed to change who they are and how they operate because you have complained enough, or because you know what I mean, or because you consistently keep bringing it up, or if you love, and this is one of these statements where I really get annoyed. If you love me enough, you will change.
Okay, no, well that sounds crazy as hell.
You know what I mean? No,
that's not how it goes.
That's not. But
I got a mama first and a father.
That part
before you.
Come
and
on.
My mama probably screaming the same thing. I ain't changed, and I love my mama. Like, what are you talking about?
There are certain things that's going to be innately me. It's going to be who I am, and you know what? I totally understand if me being innately me means that I don't get you. That's fine, because I do not need to be everybody's cup of tea, but I cannot be in a situation where every single thing is a mess up, where you're you got to tell me when to lay down, when to get up, this, that, you know what I mean, like that Warden aspect of it, where it's like,
I want parole.
I don't even have peace in here.
I need parole. I don't want to stay here no more.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the halfway house.
Right, somebody, please, somebody pay my bail. This gotta go.
Come on, like I this especially, and I hate to say it this way,
Say it.
but I see it come through. I see it come through, especially women that have children, because they're so used
He
to
about to get y'all.
they're so used to managing the
This
house.
water's hot
To,
already. Jesus. I'm not getting up. I'm just have to drink this. I'm gonna have to read this steam. I'm in
that
the house with
steaming
the
water,
AC on.
this lukewarm. Look, this heat
You
is
already know what the
disrespectful.
lukewarm is. You already know. I'm about Batui.
This heat is disrespectful.
Disrespectful. I'm sorry. Oh
But
man, I couldn't help myself. Jeez.
I'm trying to, but I see that there's a lot when you deal with, and see, I've been dealing with women that have kids since I was 18 years old.
So you okay
Right.
with it?
So I'm okay with it because
You are
for
one of a
me,
kind, brother.
I
You
for me,
right
and
on.
this is just me, I'm one of those people where I need you to have backbone, right? And
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, when you deal with women that have children,
Mm-hmm.
they are managing households, so
Yes.
they know how to run a household. They got steel in their back. You're not going to run over the top of them, most of
That
them
that's
anyway.
that's that's a
You
good
know what I
analogy.
mean?
I ain't never think about it
And
like that. You
for
on to
me,
something.
because of my personality, I
Mm-hmm.
need someone that's going to be able to steel her backbone, be like, nah.
So you don't need a warden, you need a correction
No,
officer.
I just, you know what I
You
mean?
need a
I need
correction
somebody,
officer.
like I don't need you to, because after a certain period of time, I feel as if you're trying to be my mother. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
I'm not in the relationship for you to be my mom. You
But
know what I mean? Like
that's a catch-22 though, because a woman can manage a household, but then sometimes she got full mommy vibes.
she does,
You
and
know,
and
so
you
you gotta
and
you
as a
gotta be
man, you
careful.
also have to be understanding of that as well. And
Mm-hmm.
for some are stronger in that mommy vibe than others. So if
Mm-hmm.
you can't handle that, you know what I mean. Like this is another one of those aspects of accepting the person that's in front of you.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like if look, I get it, I understand you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make you a bad person or anything like
Just don't
that
make it present for
because
me.
right, you just not the person for me because the way you choose to handle things or whatever I said that or handle me is
Right.
not acceptable for me.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. I mean, so when we go to the pet peeves of it and versus the red flags, what do you think is like something that we could say is a pet peeve of mine? And I don't
Hmm.
really have any. I used to call myself shallow because the littlest things would just like
Hmm.
turn me off. And I
Right,
feel like turn offs is turn offs. Like you can't get turned back on once you
right.
turned off. Or maybe I'm just like I said, I used to be shallow. Little things bother me. Like, if you look funny with your hat off.
So you got a funny shaped head up under that hat. It's
I
over.
want you to keep your fit on
Keep the
all
hat on.
day. Right, because you
Keep
can't
the
be
hat
two
on.
different people. Like, you catfishing me. Um, if you don't know how to say your STR words,
That's great.
scray discreet, strawberries, strategy. I'm about to cry because I got issues. Let me see what else. Another one. Snoring. That is a deal breaker.
Okay.
But I'm not. But I'm gonna be real because women gonna say
Okay.
this. When you really like a guy, you'll deal with it, or
And
you'll
see,
go to sleep before he did.
that's the part that I was going to get it.
Oh
So
man, I'm crying right now. But
that's
yeah,
kind of like where I want to get into
go
because
ahead. I
those are
brought it.
those are red flags before a relationship,
Conditional,
right? Right.
conditional,
Those are
right?
conditional
You
red
got me
flags
crying
before a
over here.
relationship. But once you're into the relationship, they
Hmm.
become a pet peeve. Like it's something that I don't really want. I don't
Yeah.
really want you to do. I prefer that you not do it.
Hmm.
But it's tolerable once you're in it, like snoring.
I mean, because you can't
Um,
help it. You can't. You
because you
can't
can't.
keep slapping a
Right. You're
person,
not.
waking them up. They don't know,
Right.
but
Right. Exactly.
yeah. And then you gonna go. You got
Exactly.
to sleep on the couch. You got to get out of here. Now you
Right.
mad for something that they can't control.
They can control, or I mean, but there are ways to work around it now. You know what I mean?
Don't set up there
Um,
and say that
it's,
CPAP machine because that's so unattractive.
CPAP machine. They got
Looking
the
like
oral
Darth Vader at nighttime.
they got the oral apparatuses. They got the
They
little
better put
joints
that little
that go
thing in their
right up in your
nose.
nose. Yep. Yeah. So there's several
I'll
things
deal with that,
now.
but I ain't see with Darth
Yeah.
Vader. Luke, I am your father.
Look,
Turn
look.
over. You looking over there looking like you a
Some
submarine man. No.
Some people ain't got no choice though. You know.
Well, guess what? You need to be at a nursing home, sir. I'm not doing it. Let me know what day we
No,
want. What
no,
day? Let me know what
that's-
day we doing this, and I'll match your energy and wear one with you.
Not you gonna put them in. She gonna put them all the way in the next for snoring.
Not for snoring, for the machine.
Oh my goodness.
Look, I'm in the medical field. Half the people that I see is old people in nursing homes that got the machines on. I give it to them so they can breathe. I don't want to roll over. But let me say this. Let me not say this because you know what?
Hold on, because
let me wait.
You just,
my king might
okay.
be out there and he might have issues.
And he might have right.
So Lord help me to understand the snoring, okay? Like make something by the time my husband come that machine ain't so unattractive.
That is right.
Don't make me want to hold a wire while he sleep.
Talk about.
Well, let me say this. My child might be listening. I love you because he got one. He sees with a CPAP machine. So, mommy, sorry, okay? Love you. Mwah, mwah. Mommy, love you.
I
It's not your fault.
today.
Mommy, love you very much.
But those are certain things.
Look, I'm just being real. I'm putting my truth out here to help other women. Okay, you got to be real with the things that you just can't tolerate. And we joking, right? We making fun of light stuff, but how about the real things that you just really can't tolerate? So, like I said in the beginning, do we overcomplicate things, and do we put a brick up or self-sabotage our relationships on the little petty things, right? That's why I had to correct myself because I'm into all speaking stuff out in the atmosphere. Right. So suppose my husband got sleep issues. Right. And I just spoke that, so God, but well, let's cross him off the list. So she don't want this because she don't know what's going on. So let me shut up. And but sometimes we got to be careful because we will overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's us internalizing certain things.
Yeah.
Because if I could deal with that's like, okay, I give this. A woman say, "Oh, man can't cheat on me. He better not cheat on me. I'm not taking it, da 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 da." But then you okay being the side chick. How does that work?
How does that work?
So you see my point?
Yeah.
Like we would downplay our list for people we really like and really want.
Right. So is it really a red flag, or was it just a pet peeve, something that you just prefer not to deal with? Like for instance, some people can't handle smoking. For people that
that's my other one. I can't.
I knew you. I was thinking of you when I was thinking of that particular. But part.
Let me be
some
clear.
Can't handle.
This is weird. So let me be clear. You know that about me, but I don't like weed or cigarettes. Now I think a man that smoking cigars as sexy as I don't know what.
And there it is.
I just don't want to be. But I will go to the cigar bar and smoke one with you. So it's different type of smokes.
Right. So
your smoke got to smell like Hennessy or some type of bourbon.
Right.
I don't want to smell. Right. Yeah, I don't want to smell the other stuff. So you see again.
And so
it's not smoking. It's just because men don't smoke cigars every day.
No.
You don't smoke Black and Milds every day. That's a thing. It comes. Cigarettes is every day. Weed is every day. So so let me be clear. So if you smoke cigars, I like cigars. It's very sexy.
Yeah. But that was something that I picked up on. I was like, well, for some people, it is a red flag, especially like if you're asthmatic or if you're allergic to the smoke or whatever the case may be.
But I am.
You know what I mean? I could definitely understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for some, it's just a pet peeve. Like I prefer a person that doesn't smoke, but you know what? If you smoke, it's okay. Yeah.
I've made requests. Like I've said, hey, you smoke? Can you not smoke when we're about to see each other? Because I don't want to taste it or smell it on your clothes. So
Right.
and I made it known because I'm not gonna be around it, and I don't want you high coming to be
Right.
with me. That's
Right.
like you looking Asian and you're not. Like I don't do that. So I used to say things, and now guess what? If you're not willing to make that change, then that's your preference, and it's okay.
Right.
Right.
Then that gives you the opportunity at that particular point to choose, okay, either
Right.
that's something you're going to handle going forward or you're not going to.
Right, because we shouldn't be succumb to some people bad habits.
Yeah.
Right. So cigarettes is a bad habit.
Yeah, that's why I always say to people to be authentically yourself. You know what I mean? Be unapologetically yourself, because
Yes.
in being unapologetically yourself,
Yeah.
that allows me to choose whether or not tolerating or being, because I don't want to have to tolerate you.
That
you know what I mean?
part.
Like either I'm going to be with you or I'm not. You know what I mean?
My pawn is on.
And
My pawn is on. He's on.
and,
He's on.
and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good person or a bad person or nothing else like that. It's just that you're not a good fit. And that's okay. For me,
like that OJ glove.
I'm trying to tell you. To tell you, like I'll give you a little, history lesson in regards to me. Like a couple of years ago, I had a young lady that was interested in me, and I was working on my credit to get this house, right?
Okay.
I was also working my regular 9-to-5 job.
Okay.
Then I had I was in school to complete my bachelor's degree. I was full-time dad. I was also running my business at the same time.
Okay.
So I had all of these different things going on all at once.
Right.
Not to mention that, I'm a brother amongst 8 and this, that, and the third, right?
And a dad.
So, you know what I mean? It's dad of 3. So I knew that there was no way that my lifestyle, like it sounds good from the outside when you hear someone list these different things, like, oh man, he's a good father, da 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 da.
Perfect package.
But what it means is that I'm not available a lot. That's what it means.
That's
like
what it
if
means.
I break every single thing down, that means that I'm not available. I have no time. And if you are a person that is for real about who you are,
yes, right.
then
your love
you
language.
Say you
quality time is your language.
If you know that, you know what, quality time is what you need, then I am not the person. And that does not mean you are a bad person. That does not mean I'm a bad person. It just means I am not the person for you. For you,
yeah, it's true.
And I had to make that clear, and it bothered.
Of course, I mean, because like you said, we go back to again. If you get to, this is what it happens, right? It's like you're going down. Let's use the New York streets, right? You get into the high class areas. The pavement is immaculate, not a bump in the world. As soon as you get to that constructional street, pothole.
You'll tear your whole axe off your car.
Your rim will be scratched. You got things in your tire you can't pronounce. Okay.
I'm trying to.
And that's exactly how a relationship is. It's smooth, and then you get to that bump in the road after, because the smoothness makes you be like, yeah, this is a nice ride. I'm loving this. Boom, boom, boom. Little bump here and there. But when you get to that construction road and there's bumps and there's holes and there's asphalt missing, that's where you get he don't got no time. Now what? Now do I shut down my love language of quality time just to see if this will be a fit? Because it goes back again, your choice was what's conducive for your life, right? For you, yeah. Now the time, and this is what I hear on TikTok all the time and all social media. Oh, well, if you want a 7-figure man, I don't know where to get these 7-figure men because I'm still trying to meet them. Where are they at? Because it ain't that many of them in the world that we keep throwing this number at. Just say 6 figures, because sometimes 6-figure men are busy. 6-figure women are busy. Fair. I ain't got no time. I ain't 6 figures. I'm not 7, but I'm 6. And I don't have time because I got a business. I got a career. We're doing the podcast. Right. I got to fit you in. And it may not sound right, but it's true. So now, this is what I hear. Oh, you ain't going to have no time. So then that's a lie, because I always going to say this. a person that wants to be with you and wholeheartedly admire you, man or woman, they're gonna make time. I don't care if it's a 10-minute drive somewhere or just FaceTime me while I'm in the car. You're gonna make time. So when people talk about time, I kind of have to push back on that. Now you are gonna notice that there's no time because you ain't got nothing going on. So
And that's the
now
part.
that's the problem. If you
That's
got
the
too
part.
much going on and I don't have nothing going on, I'm gonna notice that you ain't got no time. Because we both gonna be
Right.
like, dag, oh, we ain't see each other all week. I know because you had this going and I had this going. Then when we do, our time will match because we both are working the same hours. Like how me and you, like you work nights, I work nights. We work at 12s and 16s. So but we had to look how long it took us to fit this in. Just to
Right.
we had to find out when one day, twice out of the month, out of 30 days, is the only time we could come together.
Yeah.
2, to come together to be able to make this happen.
Right.
So you gotta time management, and you gotta find the time. But if I'm sitting home just watching TV on TikTok, of course I'm gonna notice that you ain't got no time for me because I'm not doing nothing.
Right. Yep.
Makes sense,
And
right?
I agree
Yeah.
1,000%. I agree 1,000%. And you have to know, how much time is important to you.
Yes. Don't
You
waste
know
my
what I mean?
time.
You know, like if I only have that 10 minutes or that hour or
Yeah.
whatever out of the day in order to hit you up, if that's not sufficient for you, say so.
Yes. Say
You know what I mean?
something.
Say so.
See something, say something.
Because I'm thinking that I'm making time. Yeah, it's only an hour out of 24 hours, but it's an hour. Nonetheless, I could have been doing something else in that hour, or
That's
that
true.
15 minutes, or in that 30 minutes, whatever. You know what I mean? But if it's not,
Yeah.
if it's not enough, it's not, it's not to your detriment to
Right.
say that's not enough.
Right. But it's the fear again because you don't want to. So, okay, I'll put my life coach hat on every now and then. We have this childhood trauma of abandonment, of not having protection and time, and always trying to make somebody happy because look, mommy, look, I'm a big girl, I'm a big boy, I could do this and I could do that, and your parent ain't paying you no mind, or your caregiver's not paying you no mind. So as an adult, we grow up being a people pleaser, which also takes away from our needs.
Okay.
So with you saying, hey, let me just sit up here and just take what you're giving me, or let me be a people pleaser, it comes from that. So a lot of us don't even know that a lot of things that we showing up as adults is really a little kid sitting on our shoulder. And I always say that because it's very important to know sometimes where these certain pet peeves and projections and self-sabotage come from. It doesn't come from the adult us. It comes from that little kid that's still attached to our hip that we got to protect sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
we're always in a fight or flight mode.
Exactly. I gotta go.
Right.
I gotta please. I gotta be. Let me downgrade. Let me put all my feelings aside. And then what happens? We explode when we can't take it no more.
Well, you can't take it no more. Right.
And then it be on a person that don't even deserve it.
Right.
Because now it's displaced anger.
Yep. Yep. I agree 1,000% with that. And I mean, when you think about like for so many different relationships that we talk about, like I've listened to certain conversations, and I'm about to say something that a lot of people might not like.
Oh well, nobody better not come for my
But
co-host. Say it.
I'm
Say
gonna
it,
say
partner.
I'm gonna say it from a men's perspective. Okay.
The male
From
perspective.
a male's perspective in regards to relationships, most men are not going to have as many red flags or pet peeves as women do. It is usually because if I care,
Tell a little secret.
if I care for you as the woman, right? it is not enough for me to make you feel inadequate in regards to my pet peeve. I'm just going to suck it up because for the greater good of the house, I'm okay with whatever it is. In the grand scheme of things, when we think, I'm not thinking micro. I'm not thinking in this moment. I'm thinking of the large picture, the macro,
Yeah.
right? And so, in thinking of the macro, I'm like, well, um, is it enough to cause the day to be ruined or the week to be ruined or whatever? No. So at the end of the day, I just let it be. I
But
might not
why
like
though?
it
Why?
because there's a time and place for all things. There's a time to go to war and there's a time to put down and be peaceful. And if it disturbs your peace, and that's the other part about it. It's like
I think that's
do
wrong
you
for y'all
really
though.
but do you really want to disturb your peace just for something that, okay, if I don't like something, okay, I could do it myself.
But won't
You
you
know what I mean?
say it like expect? Because I think a lot of y'all men do that a lot, and I have to push back. A lot of y'all men, I think, don't say anything, and then we don't know, and then y'all just let us be out here looking crazy or acting like a brat, right? Because it.
Because at the end of the day, like my job, my job is to make sure that the house has its peace. I got to lead peacefully in order for the house to have peace. If I
I
don't
think it goes
lead
both
in
ways.
peace, but as the head of the as my role is as the head of the house is to protect, to serve, and to protect, and to provide. That's what I do, right? And in my leadership, in my role as a leader, because um, I can't be the king of my castle if I cannot serve the people that is requiring me to lead, right? So, in serving you, one of the things that I have to do is to make sure that you're always at peace. You're in a comfortable place. And sometimes it may cause me discomfort,
I
but it
just
doesn't
heard the
mean
king doesn't serve; he rules, and the
no, the
queen
king
serves.
serves.
The king
You
rules.
get no, the king serves because it is because of it's because of your dedication to me as king. What I do is whatever comes in front of me is to serve you. Is to put you in the best position, whatever that is, whether you may be the peasant, whether you may be the person as the cupbearer or whatever else like that. It's to
Yeah.
serve you to the best of my ability. So if you are wronged, it is on me to right your wrong.
I kind of disagree. I disagree with the dynamics of what you're saying, and I totally get it. And I think that's the and I've heard a lot of men not with this particular analogy you're using, but I
Hmm.
do believe, and we're talking about like even go to the chessboard, right? We know
Hmm.
the king is powerful, but we also know the most power. I always say the most powerful piece on the chessboard. They always say it's the queen, but I say it's the pawn because the pawn
It's the
get to the other
pawn.
side and be whatever they want to be. And I love chess,
Hmm.
by the way.
Hmm.
But when we
You and
think
me
about
both.
that, right? So when we think about the chess board, the king can only move but one move.
Hmm.
The queen could go everywhere. So when I
Right.
say that you are to rule and we are to serve you, the people that are under your rulership, you put in place the rules, i.e. the ruling, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it's like a business. I am the CEO. You are the CEO. You give us everybody has a job to do.
Hmm.
Once you put what you need to put in order, you only got to show up so much when it's out of order. Long as there's order going on, all you got to
Hmm.
do is rule and allow your queen
Hmm.
to serve you. And I think because of not saying your men, and this is for the men,
Hmm.
because you don't and this is how women don't really know how to serve you,
Hmm.
because the things that we do that may, and I get there's a lot of women out there that just don't want to listen, and we are bullheaded. I'm talking about the ones that want that want to serve their man, that's not
Hmm.
mad about submission and protecting you in a certain, because the queen job is to make sure that nobody gets next to her king.
Right.
That's her job on the board, i.e., with the bishop and the rook and everybody else that plays a part. We're protecting you, whether we move you castle side or queen
Mm-hmm.
side. We're moving. We got to keep
Right.
you protected. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where your men forget that you are need protection too. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
just, but y'all so trained to protect, protect, protect.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta put this on my shoulder. The bills is
Mm-hmm.
this the car's messed up, but I can't let my house know because I gotta protect, protect. And
Mm-hmm.
then y'all get lost and sick and stressed
Mm-hmm.
out. And now we don't know why because you're holding on to everything. So that's why I said there's a little pushback with the ruling versus the serving. You do serve to a certain point, but once you lay down the rules and the understanding of the household, now it's our job, i.e. the kids, the mom, whatever, to go forth and make sure that your vision is being produced every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion and how I think a castle would be ran, i.e.
Right.
the household, you know.
So
But y'all
so
men got to
when I
speak up and say things. That's how I feel. Like peace,
when,
you can't have peace knowing that you being quiet and knowing that because you don't want to rile up the lioness.
so sometimes, but in a situation like this,
Mm-hmm.
like for a person like myself, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
an argumentative person
Mm-hmm.
anyway, like, and I know that that's where this is going to go. Like,
And
you
that's
get a
bad. I get what you're saying.
you get an idea of who you're dealing with, what type of things is, the little pinholes that, that's going to
Mm-hmm.
let the air out or whatever else the case
Yeah.
may be. And do you really need it? And it's more so on, it's the responsibility of the man to make sure that, okay, you know what, my house, if your house is in a peaceful place, it's just like, again, like the king.
Mm-hmm.
I make decisions in order to keep the peace. I only go to war when I have to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until it's entirely necessary to go, I want to keep peace. So if that means that, you know what, um, on a situation where, you know what, it might not be something that I ideally like, but it's
Mm-hmm.
going to keep peace.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm gonna keep peace. I'm gonna choose peace, and it's not because of the fact that I care about I don't value me. It's more
Mm-hmm.
that I value the peace of the house and keeping everything in order and in
Mm-hmm.
decency. You know what I mean? Like,
I
so if
understand. Yeah, I
yeah.
understand. So now it goes back to where we talk about how this whole conversation starts. So now for men, right? I'm gonna talk to the men. Because I know how women, I know how we women, I deal with these kinds every day and hear how they thought process when it comes to a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say to y'all that now going back to the pet peeves and picking right and vetting, right? Your piece should already start before you even have to make a household with somebody.
True.
Like you're not an argumentative person, right? But then you deal with somebody that you see got a lot of pushback. Doesn't take well to direction,
Mm-hmm.
or even coming home every day telling you something that happened at the job. But let me tell you what they
Mm-hmm.
did to me today. You're gonna be like, well, Dad, do you ever have a good day at work? So there's little
That
things
part.
that I think men should pick up on from women before you even get to a point of have to make your house peaceful when you know you're dealing with a ravishing woman that's walking around here just complaining because you
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of women I hear this happy wife, happy life. No, happy house, happy spouse. Because
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and this is just me, and I know I may not be the exception to the rule. I'm the exception to the rule, but that's not the rule. That these are reason why a lot of us women are not married and not in relationships, or we do understand what we did wrong later in life, is because we were that person. I gotta say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna
I'm gonna
tell
get
you,
it off my
and
chest.
get off
Mm-hmm.
my chest. And now you sitting up there shutting down. You like, yep, that's right. I told him. No, he not dealing with you. So
Mm-hmm.
now this man gotta be in this I call it a peaceful prison now. Now we talking about wardens. It's a peaceful prison
Mm-hmm.
because you're really locked in peacefully because you won't say nothing and because you just trying to not get her riled up and she walking around here just being a brat. So
Yeah.
it's a peaceful prison that y'all men are putting yourselves into. No, let us know. Like not in a DV way, right? Not a
Mm-hmm.
domestic violence way, but sometimes you gotta roar. Sometimes you got to be the lion and round so we could be like, well, he mad. Let
Yeah,
me right. And
even
it's
lions
not be
choose. They
yeah,
pick and choose when their roar is necessary. You know what I mean? Like
they
when
do
there's a threat to the
right.
den, that's when
But your
you
mental
find out
though,
that the male is there. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
definitely because you know again the lioness will tear up again. She serves her king very well in the line in the jungle very
Right,
well, and I
right.
just think that it goes back to us fearful. We are so separated. That's the reason why we started this podcast to talk about both sides.
Mm-hmm,
Because my thing is resolve, right? It's
mm-hmm,
getting to understanding like why your men think the way that you think. Like we don't.
mm-hmm.
It's not to change your thinking per se, unless it's in a negative way of how you know project words and stuff. It's just the fact of why I didn't realize I was doing that, or I didn't realize that that we're loud, or I didn't realize that you got to walk here in this peaceful prison because you just don't want to disturb. And a lot of women think that's cute. I see it in like the little skits they do on here where
Mm-hmm.
the man will act like he's texting a woman, and then the woman will come by and slap the mess out of his head or slap him violent towards him. But then in the flip side, if we flipped it and then we was on our phone and you hit us, you get a whole thing of in the women comments, oh, that's so funny. That's right. I know, right? You better not be on that phone. She not playing with you. But as soon as I'm on my phone and you want to do the skit of hitting me, oh, I can't believe it. That's not funny. He put his hands on her. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
I realize, and this is maybe my epiphany that God has given me. I realize that we say that we're the most unprotected, and we have been for years biblically. The women has been the most unprotected, but
Mm-hmm.
now more so, it's like your unprotection is being more seen now by
Mm-hmm.
hearing and seeing how women. It's okay for a woman to put her hands, but a man gotta. It's a double standard even on our
Yeah.
side, and it's annoying to me, and it's sad for me to see it. So just to hear you say what you just said, like when I play this back, it's like it's a wake up call even for me to realize that sometimes that a lot of men may be not really peaceful at home. And I got guy friends that I've talked to that have said that the woman do this and she don't do that, and then it's okay when she do it, but it's a problem when he do it. And you
Mm-hmm.
go, dang, like where did that come from? It comes
Right,
from somewhere, and I guess we're gonna find it out. Maybe we won't be here living, but it's
right.
something. And just to hear you say it, and I'm not saying like I'm saddened for you, but
No,
I,
no,
I
no.
have I have empathy because it's like, dang, we really got y'all sitting up here being in a peaceful prison, like we are the warden. Just for that, that little statement that you made, and I hope that y'all listen to what he's saying and what he said. And if you didn't, go play it back about 10 minutes ago, because that is maybe the mindset of some good men out here that think that in order for the house to be peaceful, knowing that this woman may be a little argumentative, that they gotta hold on to something and just let the house rule. And I don't like that. I don't like that. That just made me upset for y'all. That did. It really did. And hearing you saying, I'm like, I just want to give you a hug. Like that's we
No,
are
but
so.
if
I'm
you
so
let
sorry.
me tell you,
I'm
let me
like,
tell
what?
you, when
Oh my gosh.
that's how you know
Oh.
when a person, that's how, for me, that's how I gauge how much I care. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When I'm willing to go ahead and I'm willing to, okay, you know what? Just for the sake,
Just for the
just
sake.
for the sake of, you know what I mean? Because again, there's going to come times where, look, you're gonna find out that I'm a completely different other person when I'm vexed.
Right.
But you know what I mean. But in
Because
situations
you
like
know
this, it's
you.
not
Yeah.
necessary. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah. No, I
necessary. It's not.
understand.
You
I
know what I
understand.
mean?
But you're
Like,
not the first that I've heard say that. That's why it's like it's a thing, and that's why we need to listen to the men speak certain stuff. That's coming from a clear, pure heart.
mm-hmm.
Not the
Not
misogynistic,
the right.
chauvinistic man, not the
I can't
bitter.
speak for those
Yeah,
guys. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's
We're
their
not talking about
thing.
that. That's
That's
a whole
not
nother
me.
manipulative
Yeah,
thing that we'll talk about later on. But
yeah.
yeah, just hearing that, it really bothers me like wholeheartedly.
But
And
don't be
yeah.
bothered because you
No,
know
I'm
what?
bothered because these women
It's
don't understand. That's why they lonely.
but you know what? Sometimes uh, in a situation like this again,
Mm-hmm.
it's for the best. It's not necessarily for the worst. It's
Mm.
not necessarily for the worst. It is for the best because see, what we have a ability to do is we have an ability to compartmentalize certain things. Certain things is
Mm-hmm.
worth our voice being heard about, and then
Mm-hmm.
certain things aren't. Now,
Mm-hmm.
who I take issue with is the men that have issues or there's red flags and they're scared to speak on their own behalf. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Those that's a completely different other topic right there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But for something that is just like minor, it's not
Mm-hmm.
nothing major. It's, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I know that you'll see it, and because maybe you have an insecurity that I know about, or whatever the case may be, and
Mm-hmm.
rather than rearing up that type of conversation to where now it becomes a whole full blown thing instead of
Yeah.
the little small thing that I just, what, I'm good, you
Mm.
know
I
and
understand. I
sometimes it's
understand.
worth it, you know what I mean. Sometimes it's just worth it just for you to hold the peace, to keep the
Yeah.
relationship, where it is, or whatever. And it's your job as the steward to your woman
Mm.
to make sure that not only are you in a good place, but she's in a good place too.
Right. Well, yeah, I definitely want to make sure that that's what the end goal is, that y'all both
Hmm.
are happy, and like, again, talking about the analogy you gave with the castle, that everybody got to be taken care of,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's why I was like, when people go about, oh, the man got to work all this time. I told the story before. My grandfather was the only one working himself into a stroke, and then once the king went down, because the queen wasn't didn't need to work. Now she had to find a way to take care of the household, and it was a lot, because
Right.
nothing was in place, because and there's a lot of men that don't understand that too. But then a lot of men do that now in our culture and our generation, for control,
Right.
when before it was for provision, and now it's for
Right.
control. Well, I'm gonna do everything, and I'm gonna make all the decisions. Just because you are the breadwinner, don't mean make my job null and void, because you're
Right.
the one that, because now I gotta control other things that's going on. And I think now, with the, like you said, no time, I gotta do this, I gotta be here, I don't have time for you, but then I still gotta show up in other ways, and then, like you said, there's no I in team. And once we start to move with that, and also, like you said, reevaluate ourselves, and absolutely write down what is a pet peeve versus a red flag to me, and dissect it. And
Hmm.
when they show up, be real with it. I think that we can have a better household together, collectively. So
I agree 1000% with you.
yeah. So what do you?
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you
Is
guys
that your
coming
last
through
words?
with us. That's how I'm. You know what? I'm gonna
That's your
let you.
last words.
That
I
was your
need.
mic
That's your
drop.
last word.
I'm
That
gonna
was my
let you
mic
drop
drop.
that mic.
I dropped
That was you dropped the mic this time. Yeah.
the mic. Fuck it.
Clearly, you can see why we rock with each other. But
That's my
yes,
boy for life.
for real, for real.
Just drinking this
But
this steam. I'm struggling over here.
well, we appreciate everybody coming through. This has been the Male and Female Perspective Podcast. Thank you. We appreciate you. We definitely subscribe, like, follow, share, and we will be seeing you soon.
Night night, y'all. Happy Tuesday.
Happy
God
Tuesday.
bless. That was good.